Hey there, welcome to today's episode of the Underdog Coach. Got an exciting message to share with you today. Hey, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you find value, you know someone that may benefit from this message, hey, please share it with them. Hopefully it can help them and hopefully it can help you. But I want to talk today about 12 ways that you can increase your self-confidence. And I don't know about you, but I believe a lot of people, if they're honest, would admit that they struggle with a lack of confidence. How many people have goals or dreams or some idea of something that they want to accomplish, but they never pursue it because of fear or just this feeling or lack of confidence? And so confidence is attractive. And I'm not talking about arrogance, which I think is very repelling, but confidence is attractive. And, you know, all of us, I think, would admit that we would like to feel more confident, to go out and pursue the things in life that we want to pursue. So I want to really give you some things that you can take and immediately put into action to help you begin to feel more confident and increase your self-confidence. And I'll tell you that I am not someone who is naturally just confident. And you know, we could talk about why are some people maybe naturally more confident or appear that way. You know, is it you know, environment or sports or, you know, at a young age or personality? I don't know. But I will tell you this, I believe that anyone, no matter where you are in life, where you feel you are on a confidence level, I believe that any person can increase their level of self-confidence. So wherever you are today, whether it's, you know, a personality thing or the way you grew up, anything, it doesn't matter. That's not what's important. What's important is, can you increase your level of self-confidence? I believe that you can. I have no doubt that you can. And my goal with this video would hopefully be that you'll believe the same thing, that wherever you are in life, that you can increase your level of self-confidence. So I want to share 12 ways specifically. I'm going to get right into them. Some of them are actually very simple, just little things that you can begin to do. And I realize you can't focus on 12 things, but hopefully you get one or two things that you can kind of put into action and put it to the test and see how it helps you to increase your level of self-confidence. So some of them are small, some of them are a lot bigger. So I'm going to jump right into it. The first one, be a front row seater. Very simple. I read this idea in a book one time. And you know what? I encourage you, the next time you go to an event, the next time you're in any situation, don't just naturally sit back in the back. Challenge yourself to walk to the front and sit in the front row. Something as simple as that, not only does it make you appear more confident, it will actually help you to feel more confident. It's a small thing that you can do to challenge yourself to increase your level of self-confidence. Another one, make eye contact. You know, how many times do you meet people, maybe you struggle with this yourself, where people tend to look away when they talk. And you know what? You need to force yourself, if you have a tendency to do that, to look people in the eyes. Because when you do that, not only, again, do you appear more confident, it actually will help you to feel more confident when you look people directly in the eyes. Make a firm handshake, look people in the eyes. Make eye contact. If that's something you don't have a habit of doing, then write it down. Say, look, and make it a point that as you are meeting new people, communicating with people, that you will make eye contact. Don't look away, but look people right in the eye, because it can help you to increase your level of self-confidence. Another simple little thing you can do, I read this in The Magic of Thinking Big. Walk 25% faster. Whatever your pace is when you're walking, challenge yourself to walk just 25% faster. Walk as if you've got a place to be, that your time is important, that you want to get there a little bit quicker because you value your time, because you know where you're going. By simply increasing your walking pace by 25%, it will make you feel more confident about yourself. Stand up straight, walk 25% faster. Little things that you can do to again help you to feel more confident. Another one, speak up. If you are in a group setting, be the first one to speak up. The natural tendency, I will tell you, even for me, is to sit back, let everybody else speak up. But I encourage you to just try this, to speak your opinion. Don't worry about what other people think. Don't read. Just if you've got an opinion, which of course you do, speak up. Share your thoughts on the subject. By speaking up, again, it makes you appear more confident, but it actually is a little baby step. It's something that you can do to increase your self-confidence. So the next time you're in any type of a group setting, be the first to speak up. Don't wait until you're asked. Don't wait to be last, right? Be the first to speak up. Another small, simple thing that you can do is simply to smile. A smile does so much to just help you to change your attitude, to feel more confident. And I tell this to people all the time. If you're in sales or you're scheduling appointments on the phone, don't forget to smile, because a smile immediately makes you feel better, makes you feel more confident, and nothing is more attractive than a smile. So when you're meeting people, remember to smile. Don't forget to smile. Look, some of us have maybe if you're more an introverted type personality, you got to remind yourself, don't forget to smile, because it communicates confidence, helps you to feel confident. In fact, if you're watching this right now, make a big smile, right? It makes you feel more confident. So don't forget to smile. Another one, and this is big, dress for success, because there's no question that what we wear, right, actually changes the way we feel. My dad always taught me this growing up, so I saw it firsthand. But I'll tell you something that really stands out to me is I had a roommate one time, and whenever he would have a big test or exam or something that he had to study for and prepare for, he would actually go put on literally a coat and a tie to study. And I thought at the time, I was like, what? I thought that was so funny to me. But what he told me stood out. He said, when I dress like this, I feel better. I feel more confident. It helps me to focus. And what he realized is the way that he dressed actually changed the way that he felt about himself, and it helped him to be better at studying, to help him take it more seriously. And the same thing is true for us, for all of us. And so I encourage you, especially if you happen to be in sales, to make sure that you're dressing sharp. Because it doesn't cost much. If you're in sales, for example, go get yourself, if you're a man, a couple pair of sharp pants. They don't have to cost that much. A couple sharp shirts, some nice shoes, and you can have a few quality things. It doesn't have to cost you much, but sometimes that can be the biggest difference, because when you dress sharp, you are going to feel better about yourself. And so again, we all have situations, right, where you don't have to always be dressed perfect, but just be aware of the way you dress, because sometimes maybe if you're a little bit sloppy, and again, there's a time and a place for everything, right? I'm not talking about when you're working out or when you're working in the yard or whatever, but when you are going to go into business type settings or settings where you want to feel more confident, make sure you dress appropriately, right? If you go into an environment where everybody's dressed up and you're wearing old wrinkly pants or blue jeans and holes in them, there's a time and a place for everything. That will decrease your level of self-confidence. So be aware of your dress. And again, you don't have to spend a lot of money. If you don't have a lot of money right now and you're saying, well, I can't do that, and you're making excuses, I challenge you, go to the thrift store. Go find an $80 shirt that someone was ready to get rid of, that's hardly never been worn, maybe still has the tags on it, that you can buy for $2. There's no excuse that you can use to not look sharp. Again, particularly if you're in any type of sales, you need to look sharp, dress sharp, because not only does it communicate confidence to the other people around you, it actually helps you to feel more confident. And that's what this is all about, 12 ways that you can feel more confident about yourself. Another one, exercise. I am by no means a fitness buff. I admit that on every video almost, but I will tell you that exercise for me, it helps me to feel more confident. And so whatever that means for you, I really believe exercise is connected to every area of our life. And so make it a point, if you need to feel more confident, don't just exercise because you think it's for your health or whatever. It actually will make you feel more confident. Again, wherever you are in life, if you need to go for a walk, whatever it means, if you need to, but exercise, wherever you are in life and in your journey, exercise consistently can help you to feel more confident. I know that when I get away from exercising consistently, which does happen, it begins to affect my level of confidence. And so I encourage you, make exercise, whatever that means for you, whatever you need to do to get started, make exercise a consistent part of your life, because it can help your level of self-confidence. And I believe exercise can actually help you make more money because it helps you feel better about yourself. It helps you be more confident. So exercise is a great way to increase your level of self-confidence. Another one is having money, being debt-free. This might be a little bit, maybe seem shallow, that your level of confidence is connected to your bank account. But the reality is, when you have money, when you're not riddled with all kinds of debt, you feel more confident. And so again, you may be thinking, well, gosh, I'm never going to be out of debt. And maybe you're in a tough place wherever you are when you're watching this. But I will tell you this. It's not just about being debt-free, it's about getting control. So if you are in a place that you've got tons of debt, I believe if you take anybody and you take away their income, take away all their savings, put $100,000 of personal debt on them, it will affect their level of confidence, right? So wherever you are, the truth is, it takes time to get out of debt. It takes time to build up cash to help you feel better. This is not a tomorrow thing, right? For most people, depending on where you are. However, I do believe that as soon as you get control of where you are and you get on a plan that starts moving you in the right direction, that you will begin to feel more confident, right? Dave Ramsey talks about being gazelle intense. Well, if you will create a plan and you decide that you're going to get out of debt, and you create a plan for yourself, and if you're married, you and your wife, you said, look, we're getting out of debt, right? It may take time, but I'm going to get out of debt. We are going to build up an emergency fund. As soon as you get intense about that and you get for real about it, your level of confidence will begin to go up. But if you're not on a plan and your debt is just continuing to kind of spiral out of control, it has an effect on your self-confidence. So again, a major way to build your confidence is to get on a plan and start moving yourself in the direction of being debt-free and having a lot of money in the bank, because it does have a big effect on your level of confidence. And so I want to get into some major points as I wrap up today's show. Another big one is commitment to self. One of the biggest ways that you can grow your level of self-confidence is when you keep the commitments that you make to yourself. You know, oftentimes we may spend a lot of time worrying about what other people think about us. But when we are keeping our own commitments that we make to ourselves, I believe it makes you worry a whole lot less about what other people think about us. And so commitments that you make to yourself, this is one of the reasons, the opposite, one of the reasons that I believe New Year's resolutions have such a negative, people have a negative air about them, right? Nobody wants to, because what happens is people sort of think they need to set something, around New Year's, so they have this vague idea. They don't get clear on it. They don't make a commitment, but they say, oh, I'm going to lose weight this year. I'm going to get debt-free this year. But they don't really make a real strong commitment, and they don't follow through on it. And so what happens is the thought of it, right, fast forward a few months later, actually begins to destroy their self-confidence, because they said they were going to get out of debt, but they didn't follow through on it, right? And so what I encourage you to do is make some small commitments to yourself, something that you really commit to, not vague, but make small commitments. Like, for example, if you were in sales, and create a certain activity standard that you need to follow in order to be successful, and commit to that and follow through on it. And when you follow through on those small commitments that you make to yourself, it begins to build your self-esteem, right? If you were out of shape, Well, just commit to start walking, right? A mile a day, something small, but keep that commitment to yourself. And not by doing that, it begins to grow your self-esteem. And so one of the best things that you can do to build confidence is to follow through on commitments that you make to yourself, not even other people, what you commit to yourself. And so, but be clear about it, because you have to be clear. Our minds need clarity. Make a real commitment. And if it's not clear, then it's not really a goal, right? So get clear on the direction you want to go. Get clear on your goals. Get clear on the little things that you need to be doing to move you in the right direction. Commit to it, follow through on those commitments, and I promise you, you do that and you will feel better about yourself. Your self-confidence will continue to grow. Another huge way that you can increase your level of self-confidence is understanding mismanaged memories. All right, and what I mean by that is we have the ability to control what we think about. We have the ability to control our thoughts. And so when you're faced with a situation, let's say maybe you're asked to talk to a small group of people, or maybe you have to give some type of a present, whatever it is, right? You're faced with a certain environment. What ends up happening is your brain is going to reach back to memories of the past. And oftentimes we look for all the memories where we failed at something. And we just focus on that, and it really can affect our confidence in a negative way. But we can also choose to listen, or choose to think about times where we succeeded in the past. And that can raise our level of self-confidence. So anytime you're faced with a situation, understand you can control your thoughts, right? We've deposited all these memories from the past, right, into our brain, and we can choose which ones to think about going into any given situation. So don't just let your thoughts run wild of all the past times that you failed. I believe this is why sometimes, again, why some people get in hot streaks, right? Whether it's in sports or whether it's in sales, and then you get in slumps. Because if you're, for example, in sales and you're hot, you're remembering that last sale that you just closed. It's why I always believe if you're hot, go make another call, go make another sale, because that's so fresh. You're remembering that sale, right? But oftentimes we go through a little time of some no's, we go through a little slump period, and all of a sudden that's all we're remembering. And so sometimes it's helping people realize, hey, don't you remember? Have you already forgotten about that time that you closed that huge deal, right? Or whatever it is. And so you can choose to pull out memories in the past from when you've really been succeeding, or you can choose to focus on times when in your mind you failed. And if whatever you focus on, just like Tony Robbins says, whatever you focus on gets bigger. And so choose to pull out memories of your past when you've succeeded, whenever you're going in to situations that really help build your self-confidence. Another huge one is procrastination. I really believe procrastination can be the confidence killer. Because what happens oftentimes, and I will tell you, my natural personality, I think, whatever it is, I feel like I'm a great finisher. If I start something, I'm going to finish it. But the opposite of that is, I will tell you naturally that I've struggled with sometimes starting new things that I need to take care of. And in the past, right, have had a tendency to wait too long to get started on those things. And what happens is, if there's something that you know that you need to take care of, you need to take care of it, it may not even be a big deal. But if you don't take care of it today, what happens is that little small thing becomes a much bigger thing, and a much bigger thing, and a much bigger thing. And sometimes we can have things in our life that really they were nothing to take care of. But because we didn't get started, we didn't take care of that thing, that little tiny thing becomes massive in our life. And every time we think about it, it begins to destroy our confidence because we feel like a failure because we haven't already taken care of that, right? It can be little things. If you go in your office, maybe there was something small you need to take care of, you pushed it to the side, it's not really that important, so you just waited and waited and waited, but now every time you walk in your office, you look at it, and it's a constant reminder that drags you down. It drags down your confidence because you think, well, gosh, I never took care of that, and it destroys your confidence. So I encourage you to understand procrastination. If you struggle with that, can be a huge drag on your level of self-confidence. And so I'll give you 2 points to help with that. One is to celebrate starting. In other words, we have a tendency, if there's something you need to do, we're right now around tax time, right? Oftentimes people delay, especially if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a business owner. Sometimes we can delay getting our taxes done because we think about all that's involved to just take care of that. Just using that as an example. What I've had to learn to do is celebrate just getting started. Don't worry about everything that we feel we have to do. Don't think about the entire process that needs to happen in order to finish a certain task. Just get started and celebrate that. Feel good about the fact that you started, because once you start, it's so much easier to continue and finish it. And so celebrate starting. Another simple thing for procrastination that I believe really helped me is I don't even remember where I heard it, but someone said that never procrastinate starting your day if you struggle with procrastination. And what he meant was, or what he said was, never snooze. Because when you snooze in the morning, you are literally procrastinating starting your day. And if you want to kill procrastination, you need to kill it from the second that you wake up. And I will tell you, since I've heard that, I have never, ever used my snooze button again. Because I realized that by snoozing, and I remember there was a time that I would snooze 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and all I was doing was reinforcing this habit of procrastination before I even started my day. So if I'm procrastinating starting my day, what else am I going to procrastinate with in the future? And so get rid of the snooze button. Fire your snooze button forever. Attack the day, because that's how you need to approach everything that you do in life. Don't procrastinate. Kill the snooze button and celebrate just starting. And I'm going to end with really what I believe is the most important of all the 12 ways. And again, this is, I guess, more of a business type show or whatever, but it's my show. It's the Underdog Coach. And so I'm going to be real and share what's important to me. And I will tell you, one of the most important things I believe to having self-confidence is understanding your true identity. And what I mean by that is I believe all of us, every single one of us on this planet, struggle with some form of guilt, right? Some form of shame, because I believe I was born a sinner, right? I believe that I've made lots of mistakes in my past, right? Even though I want to do good, I've made mistakes. Call it what you want to. I believe it's just sin where I have done things that are wrong, right? And the question is, what do you do with that? How do you make that right? And the reality is there are people out there that maybe do a lot of these things so well, and maybe many other things, and are very confident, but they're still dealing with a sense of guilt because they know that they fall short to some standard because they've made mistakes in their life, maybe small, maybe huge. But the fact is there's a sense of guilt, and what do you do with that? And I believe that there's a creator that created this entire world, that ultimately sent his son, that died on a cross and forgave not all of us, but specifically to me, forgave me of every sin that I've ever committed, and every one that I'll ever commit in the future. And for me, I believe that I am a child of God. That there is a Savior that died and forgave me of every sin. And there's a sense of confidence. This video is about confidence, but understanding who you really are. That I'm going to make mistakes, that I always fall short of a standard. And really it's what do you do with that? And so I believe that Jesus died for me, not because I deserve it, because I don't. And accepting that and believing in that truth does give me a sense of confidence that I don't know how I would deal with that. And so here's what I will tell you. I think all these things you can do to help you with your level of self-confidence. But if you've never investigated that truth in your life, if you're not sure what to do with some of the guilt and the shame that you may have in your life, right? Because we've all made mistakes. All of us do, right? Whatever you've done in your past, how do you make that right? And so I would challenge you to seek out, to learn more about this truth, to understand, who you really are, that there is a Savior that died for you, that you can be forgiven, right? That you don't have to carry that sense of guilt. And I believe that guilt can be one of the biggest things that destroys our level of confidence. And that's why I had to include it as one of the ways that I believe you can raise your level of self-confidence. So, hey, if you have any thoughts on the subject, if there's any questions, feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to talk to you. But I hope you found value in this. Whether you implement any of these things, I hope you can take a couple ideas that can help you grow your level of self-confidence. The biggest thing also I want to communicate from this video is for you to believe the fact that you can raise your level of self-confidence. If you've been down, if you're in a tough place, you've experienced defeat, and maybe your confidence has been shaken, to know that you can grow your level of self-confidence. There are things that you can begin to do to grow your self-confidence. So I hope this message has been helpful. Again, if you like it, share it with somebody that may be able to benefit. I would love to hear your comments below, and be sure to subscribe to the Underdog channel and Underdog Coach channel. I look forward to sharing with you in the future. So, hey, make it a great day. Talk to you soon.